Steve Harvey has been wearing the lace front.
Yeah, he was wearing it for a long time. Yeah.
I was like,
really?
when I went to
that line was way too crispy,
bro.
bro.
That's when I found out because the person who
it's before Beijing and everything.
Did a class, and I was like, what? Yeah. Girl, I was shook. Oh, I can't.
My phone ringing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to date somebody from lace front. But
right. What'd you say? Yeah. What's going on, everybody? We black at it again. Wasn't a great week for guns and people of melanin. I'm not trying to be funny about it, but at the same time,
I know I'm trying to be serious, like but that was so hilarious.
We low key got a win this week, but in the form of a major L.
Right.
What happened?
So we're gonna talk about what happens in Arlington, Texas, at one of the high schools, Timberview High School, where we had an incident. And when the incident was first reported, they were talking about the fact that it was a school shooting. That's how it came across on all of our phones. And so we're thinking like it's one of the other poor kids with mental illness but as the story unfolded, what we realized is that this is just an example of school violence, which is not a new problem.
Gotcha.
And so what happened in this particular situation, the 18-year-old Timothy George Simpkins, he had engaged in a physical altercation in the period before. So in third period. I'm taking it didn't go his way.
And it didn't.
And so then, if the fight was broken up, and then in the fourth period is when he ran in with his gun and just began to open fire into the classroom, which I'm assuming is where the person he fought.
So I thought the story was that he was getting bullied, but
I'm going to talk about that. And so how that came to be, right, was after his parents were notified. And so his parents, it did not come from him. His parents went on record to say that they were sad that he brought a gun. They apologized from the family to everyone who was a victim or involved, but that he had been bullied for a long time, and this is the result of him constantly getting bullied. I won't speak to that because I wasn't there, but it just, from looking at the situation,
crazy perspective about this.
I want to talk about the violence, right? Because people were appalled, but I have two high schoolers, right? And the first couple of weeks of school were a nightmare. My thing that I kept saying was that how are y'all beefing this early into the school year?
Yeah,
like
you don't even know each other.
Seen each other in a year. But I think at my son's school, they had 2 to 3 fights every day with one hard lockdown, and we don't live in a bad area. That school is outside of Summerlin, and Desert Shores. If you live here in Las Vegas, you know that's like, they got their own lake up there. So it's not, they got their own lake.
So can we talk to the you said the violence, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk to the violence?
Yeah.
Because I have a different perspective in hearing this story, right? Once again, I did kind of just mention like we as black people took a good old W because of the outcome of what happened to this black boy that normally doesn't happen to people of color. But on the other side of that, I'm just saying, like, you can't bring a gun to school. Yeah. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I just want to keep the same energy. I mean, there is that meme out there that be like, as soon as you hear a school shooting, then they have a picture of Betty White, because that's what we got Betty White. But in this case, it wasn't. And I get it; it's school violence, but you can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, like I said, I appreciate the win for people of color, but yeah, he got to go.
Yeah, it is a situation, guys, where I have, as an educator, I have so many questions about everything that happened in this scenario. My first one being first of all, it's very easy to get a gun on campus. I'm just go ahead and put that out there. I'm obviously not going to tell you how they do it, because it might be a 15 or 16-year-old watching this and be like, you know what, that's a good idea. But school campuses are very wide and very open. And there are many, many ways to get in and off of a school campus. Case in point, when I drop my kids off at school in the morning, I really want to be like, I'm going to start in the morning live every morning and just sit in the parking lot so parents can see their kids that you.
Then you gonna go to jail for doing.
I know, right?
Surveillance of other people's children,
and they are literally walking by the school.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And walking out of that school. Like, literally, there is 5 or 6 kids that are doing that every single day. I drop my kids off.
You know what? And I apologize for cutting you
You're
off.
Good.
Well, James, I really don't care, but it does matter. The thing is,
you don't look good in blue.
You mentioned about I look good in every color. Just to be clear on that. But I have to say, like that you could chuckle. I'm glad you got some.
No, she just agreeing that blue just doesn't agree.
I thought it was cute. But my thing is, and kind of piggyback off of James, you cannot bring guns to school. At one point in time, I was bullied, and my mom told me, you better get your behind up and go, handle business, and she got me into martial arts. And became a secondary black belt, but there has to be other ways and better ways to resolve. It was kind of funny you were talking about, how easy it is to bring a weapon into school and you're not, writing a book. I believe didn't OJ write a book if he was to kill Nicole?
Right.
So I'm glad. Now, granted, you make some money, but I'm glad you didn't sell your soul for that. Shout out to him.
Just tell me how to do it so I can write this book and get some.
No, but I don't. My question is how did he get out on $75K? Where's this money coming from?
That's what I said.
I'm like,
well, if you know anybody in the system. It's not actually 75,000, but you do have to put up a percentage of it for different bail bonds and whatever the case. You have to put a percentage of it, and sometimes you can have a car that would be worth the percentage of the bond that is needed to be paid, or a house, or I don't know, a nice pair of Yeezys.
The whole ins and outs of that. Okay.
First of all, that's family business.
Okay.
Sound
like we know a lot about that too.
Sound like
right. We all got those. We all got those in the family.
It's a process.
There are a lot of.
There's a process.
Family members got some how-to books out there.
Hey, you got anything on?
Absolutely. So just yesterday, one of my favorite teachers, her name is Annika. She has 2 kids. Annika. Her younger daughter is just a beast of character. Well, her best friend is black, and she got bullied. And so she went home to her mom, who's my teacher, and as we're breaking up the day, she's getting this text, and the principal is calling her. The black girl got bullied because somebody called her the N-word, okay?
Nice? It's hard being nice out here, though. You really got
Hold on. Called her the N-word, and so, my teacher is white. Her daughter's white. The friend is black, who was getting bullied. So she asked her mom, what's up with that? Like, the girl that got bullied started fighting with the person that called her the N-word. So her mother goes, you got to go through the proper channels, but didn't follow up. I think her daughter's like maybe 8, 9, maybe 10. Her daughter went to the principal office and made a formal complaint against this girl.
That's what you got to do.
And she's white.
100%.
And you know what? This is how we end racism. When everyone chimes in, not just black people. If you're Asian and you see, listen, or you're gay and you're like, listen, you're getting discriminated against, you got to stand up for what's right.
That's right.
That's how you end it. And she couldn't believe it. She went and made a formal complaint to the office.
Absolutely.
To the principal because somebody called her friend the N-word.
Yeah.
And that's how you change it.
Yeah. And like I said, this school did so many things wrong. I don't know a school in the country where you get into a whole brawl and you still at school to go to 4th period. Like, that to me was weird.
Did they find them? Maybe. Things can happen. We used to fight in the bathroom.
This is the thing about that, though. When we were I remember I went to school in downtown Las Vegas, like in the heat of downtown. And when we wanted to fight, we literally would leave campus and handle it and come back, right? But
so some of it has to be similar, right?
You can't do that nowadays because there's not a fight. There's almost no fights that happen that are not somebody don't got their phone out.
100%.
So when they were trying to figure out, because at first when he started shooting, that's what they thought, mental illness. He this is what he decided to do. But the kids were the one that said they got into a fight. This is what happened. So everybody knew they got into a fight. So I don't know how they do it in Texas, but I know here in the good old LV, school police pulls up and ain't nobody staying.
I know. I know they got cops in Texas.
How was he still there?
If there's anything they got in Texas, it's police.
Right.
It's the police.
Right.
Oh, that is the Wild Wild West police. Like
Show
they
up
got
with hoods on and everything.
Yeah.
So we want to know how you feel about this situation. We want to know what you think. Was it okay for this person to defend himself, essentially, or did he go too far? You heard where I'm at. So please comment below. Make sure you guys follow us, like our page. We have many conversations happening about what's happening to us, and then what's happening in our community, business-wise, and just on the news.